It is down about 25 odd points. The Sensex is down about 80 odd points. So some bit of, trepidation in the market, if you'd want to call it that. The top losers, Eicher Motors down about 1%, Hero MotoCorp down 0.7%, and then you have the IT names, Tech Mahindra, Infosys in the red, LTI Mindtree as well, down about 0.5%. Reliance, ahead of its numbers on Friday, is just gravitating around that 2,800 mark, and TCS, Britannia, Tata Steel are also under a bit of pressure. What's looking good? Bajaj Finance is up about 0.5%. You have Bharti Airtel, that's up almost 0.3%. JSW Steel, ONGC, Tata Consumer Products, Power Grid, HDFC Life and M&M are a couple of other stocks that are trending in the green. The mid-cap index is actually having not a bad day, so it's up about 110 points, slightly outperforming the frontliners, so that's, I guess, a good thing. The market breadth is also not bad at all. 1,200 stocks on the advancing side. So let me hand it over to Nigel to give us the rest of the update. It's flat for the frontliners, but there is some action in the broader market.
Well, that's right, Sonia. Big action, actually. Just take a look at a few stocks out there. You had PNC Infra, their divested stake in 12 road assets for an enterprise value of 9,000 crores. That stock is up and about in today's trading session. You have Nalco, they have the JV that they are part of, and Argentina's Cambian SE. They have signed an agreement for lithium exploration and mining. So first they'll have to explore, hopefully they find something, then they can mine. But the companies that are part of that particular consortium, which is Kabil, is Nalco as well as Hindustan Copper. So both of them are higher in today's trading session. Tourism Finance, yesterday there was a large trade that took place. A large seller got out of the way. So that's why, in fact, that stock as well, after being up close to 20% yesterday, it's up another 6.5% in today's trading session. IRFC is up close to 7.5% as we speak. So that stock is doing very, very well. And to name a few more names, Geo Financial, little under the weather, I think, post those numbers that did come out. Landmark, well, they have delivered the highest ever quarterly pro forma revenues in Q3. The revenues are up close to around 8%, so that's a stock in focus. DCX Systems, one of the big movers in the last 1 year or so, but that one's a little bit under pressure because they're looking to raise a QIP at a discount to yesterday's close price. So the stock in the last 1 year or so is up close to 70%. In fact, it's opened up in the green despite that discount on the QIP. Maybe a sense that the QIP demand is quite strong. And Angel One, highest ever client addition in the quarter, up close to 16%. Profit as well, up close to around 14%. But as we saw yesterday, Angel One, Anand Rathi, there is this big theme that we're talking about. Financialization in the theme. Some of these stocks, maybe in fact, they've run a little bit ahead of themselves, at least going by the stock reactions that we're getting. Because Anand Rathi's numbers were very good. The stock was down 5%. Angel One is good, but that stock as well, down close to around 8% as we speak. Prashant.
No, absolutely. But, I saw some brokerage notes on Angel. Maybe speak with the company in a bit. But 35.50 is where Angel One is. That's a sharp cut. It's, of course, been the best performing broking stock out there. The market's recovering. I mean, we're down about 25 points on the index, but this is just the first episode of what will play out today through the course of today's session. And I'm certain that we will see more than, just this one move from the lows to the highs. I think we've got some more left here. 22,073 is where we find ourselves at. Just a few other names which are moving around. By the way, market breadth is still extremely positive. I was talking about public sector companies, right? Look at names like IRFC, 9% higher, IRDA, 3.5% higher, RVNL, 3.5% higher, Nalco, of course, Nigel has been pointing out, 4% in the green, Hindustan Copper is up 5%, Ircon is up 2%, Cochin Shipyard is up 2%, Mazgaon Dock is up 2%. This is PSCs, public sectors, sort of companies which are front and center once again. Others can come and go, which is Reliance and IT and Pharma, like we've seen over the last couple of days. But the one constant leader of this bull market has been PSUs, and there is no stopping there at all. Aster DM, Ekta was telling us about this one earlier as part of the top 10 list, 10% higher on Aster DM. Stocks at about 440 at this point in time. Dredging Corp, again, another PSU name, 6% or so at this stage. Yes Bank is coming up with about a 4% pop. Polycab went up 6% yesterday. Polycab is up another 2% this morning. So that is some of what is, coming through in terms of the trading session. So on the downside, I mean, I think, apart from what we already mentioned, which is Angel One, and I think Geo Finance, we also mentioned 4.5 lower. Look at Moti Sons. Moti Sons had a vertical rally after the recent listing. Yesterday, it pulled back 10%. It's down another 10% this morning. 8.5%. 197 on Moti Sons is what we have. And something like a RBZ Jewelers, right? Again, something which went up vertically last week. That's pulling back about 8% this morning as well. So yes, I mean, in the broader space, there is a lot of movement, which seems to be playing out.
You know, I also want to point out that the entire pharmaceutical space had gained quite a bit, right? Two spaces actually, not just pharmaceuticals, but even real estate. All of those stocks are coming off a little bit today. So just keep an eye out on that. Aurobindo Pharma is down, Alembic Pharma is down 1%. In real estate, by the way, Glenmark Pharma is also under pressure. And in real estate, all these names, Macrotech Developers, Oberoi Realty, Prestige Estates, Godrej are all under. Brigade is down about 0.5%. So I think the market, as the market starts to get a bit cautious, there is a little bit of money being taken off the table. Easy Trip, Motilal Oswal, Balkrishna Industries, Eicher Motors, Nykaa. Nykaa has been gaining a lot of ground, so some money being pulled off over there as well. So not looking great. Actually, the headline index is not reflecting the kind of pain we are seeing in the broader markets because so many stocks, Angel One down 8%, Geo Financial Services down 4%. So, you know, that's not looking good.
You know, Sonia, IRFC, the stock in the last 1 year is up 330%. The current market capitalization is 1.8 lakh crore, and it's entered the top 40 companies in terms of market cap. You know, it's the market cap is more than some of the Nifty companies now. So, you know, I think I don't know what to say. You know, at one point of time, maybe valuation-wise, it was in favor. But after the stock is up 350% and it's moving on these sort of volumes. You want to analyze these numbers a little bit more closely and, you know, and be a little careful.
I think it's completely bonkers, Nigel. I mean, you've got to say it, right? I mean, almost 2 lakh crores in market capitalization for IRFC. I mean, so, you know, just be very, very aware of what you're doing. I mean, if you're invested and, you know, don't take it. You know, stocks don't move up non-stop. I mean, sometimes they do, but then at extremes, I mean, it is better to be careful here with names like IRFC.
And then the government owns 87% also. Yes, we're putting caution on board. The government will say, hey, let's take some money off the table. You know,
good for the government, but I mean, the point is, you know, if you're a small shareholder,
then you better be careful.
You got to be, you got to put caution on the table here. With many, actually, not just IRFC, I would say many of these names which are moving up. Like the way they have in the PSU space.